it's Splinterverse. In this video I'm going to be sharing my impressions with you of some D&D products that have been sent to me. This is not a full review because I haven't played with any of these in an actual game, but I'm sharing my kind of first impressions as I look through some of the product with you so that you can learn more about the product than just what's on the product page. If you'd like to send something into the channel for consideration, there is a Google form linked in the video description that you can click on and fill out. If it doesn't work for you, just email us and we'll consider your product. We're not guaranteeing we're going to look at everything we receive, but we do like receiving those and considering them for the channel. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that by buying our book, Van Richten's Librum of Lineages, linked in the video description. You can also buy the products that we discuss in this video by clicking the links in the video description. And please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and stay tuned because we're going to have lots of D&D content coming your way. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a book called Theros Encounters in Setessa. And you're going to want to stay tuned all the way to the end of the video because we're going to tell you how you can get a 25% discount on this book. So, first, a little bit about Theros. Theros is a plane that was introduced first in Magic the Gathering, which is also owned by Wizards of the Coast, owner of Dungeons and Dragons. And they introduced it first there in the card game, had a number of expansions. Now they've brought that into D&D, and it's a world where there's gods like in ancient Greece, there's monsters like the Hydra you see here, and there are heroes that battle those monsters. Lots of fun stuff, very similar to Hellenic Greece if you've studied history. The name itself, Theros, is also a portmanteau, and it's the combination of the heroes into a single word, Theros, so it's pretty cool. And this book, Mythic Odysseys of Theros, is a book you would need if you want to fully use this supplement that we're going to talk about. So you might want to pick this up. You'll also need the basic rules, which are free online. This book is great. It's got a lot of new mechanics and ways to play Dungeons and Dragons in this sort of ancient Greek style. So it's a good recommended read anyway. But this is the cover to that book, so you can easily spot it. And the author of the book we're looking at today, T.A. Gray, has also released Theros, a Campaign Handbook, and several other titles related to Theros. And the reason I wanted to show this and talk about it is because I think that's super important. When you're looking for creators and you're looking for books to buy, think about their passions. What are they interested in? And clearly T.A. Gray, he is very interested in Theros because he's published 3 books on it. The Campaign Handbook that I'm showing here has been well reviewed. It's an Electrum seller, which is quite high. That's a lot of sales. It's got subclasses, backgrounds, all sorts of good stuff. So, if you're looking for additional stuff beyond the title we're talking about today, this one might be a good option for you. And of course, T.A. Gray is supporting the channel by giving us some content here, so definitely happy to see you support him as well. So this supplement, it takes place in Setessa. So there's like 3 city-states, or a city-state is called a polis in the Theros terminology. But there's 3 main city-states that are talked about a lot in Theros. And Setessa is this one that you're seeing here on screen with the wizard's art. It's nestled in these trees, kind of blends in with nature. It's really cool. It's a favorite region for one of the gods known as Karamitra. So definitely fun forest, nature environment for you. If you have characters, maybe some druids or elves or just any characters that enjoy those kind of environments, this will be especially fun for them. Because the whole supplement that we're getting into takes place here in this city, Setessa, and it's the only supplement that focuses on Setessa as of this recording. And the book is organized around this city and the map that you see here. There are 30 different encounters in the book. We're going to go through 3 of them today. But this map kind of guides you. It shows you the city, all the locations, so you can see the different tree spots here, and there's numbering. And I really like this map. I think it's great. There's some similar maps of this style in the Theros campaign handbook I showed you earlier. But it's so nice to kind of see this layout. You've got all the main locations of the different towers, the nexuses, the groves, all that good stuff. And then going on from this, there's a table here, and this lists all the encounters by name because the encounters are named in this book. And then you've got some of the main locations, so Karamitra's Temple, the Abora Market, nexuses on the streets, or the Carotid Groves. So what you would do is, if you go to one of those places on that map as you're having your campaign, because maybe you're using this as a one shot or a filler, or just something to string your existing campaign in Theros together. As you go along, you would roll a d20, and then this would tell you. So let's say you're in Karamitra's Temple and you roll a 9, then it's recommending that you do the encounter Kids These Days. So and it seems from looking through the book that there's a wide array of encounters, from both social, not always combat focused, and then combat focused encounters as well. So you can look at those. You might want to kind of pre-look at these before you roll, so that you can figure out whether it's best for the level of your group or not. But looking at them myself, it looked like a lot of them were pretty adaptable to whatever party level, average party level you have. Mostly, if there's a monster, you might want to check that, make sure the CR is appropriate. But other than that, most of them seem like they would work with pretty much any party level. But definitely read the book, look at it, and do some analysis. You might. The good news is let's say 9 was not appropriate. Kids These Days was not appropriate for your party level. Then you could just maybe pick something else from the Karamitra's Temple, because as you can see, there's quite a few. There's enough to fill the D20 die for that particular zone on the map. So now we're going to look at 3 of the encounters, but remember there's 30 in this book, so I'm just giving you a sampling, and to me it's clear that the author really loves this time period, this setting. So this will give you kind of an idea of some of the flavor and the writing, so that you can save the rest as a surprise for when you hopefully buy this book. So the first one, Spurn Lover. While the party is in the polis, they overhear 2 individuals discussing the reward for information on the location of Nikita, the leader of Bazara Tower. If the party stops the individuals and asks, they learn that the ruling council is offering either a gold reward or a favor for anyone who can find Nikita or advise of her location. The individuals have nothing to offer the party regarding her location, but recommend that they head to Bazara Tower for more information if they are interested in the reward. So it's kind of like a missing person storyline. That could be fun for sure. If the party approaches Bazara Tower looking for answers, the posted guards will not permit them to enter. However, a successful DC 10 Charisma Persuasion check by a character will result in one of the guards sharing what she knows about the missing leader of the Tower of the Fox. The guard relays that Nikita has been distraught since the sudden end to her relationship with a dryad recently. The guard suspects she might be drowning her sorrows in a grove in the Nessian Wood where the 2 first met. So getting a little inkling of a failed romance here, which could be an interesting storyline. If the party agrees to seek Nikita, a successful DC 12 Wisdom Survival check by a character will lead the party to the grove in about an hour. Upon a failed check, the party wanders in the woods for a better part of 4 hours before stumbling upon it. So that's cool. It gives you like a way to either get there directly or eventually stumble upon it. At the grove, the party finds Nikita lying in a bush with several empty wine pouches nearby. She is distraught over the end of the relationship, and no amount of convincing will get her to return to Setessa. While the party engages with Nikita, a group of 1d4 plus 1 thugs enters the clearing. These thugs are deserters from the Bazara Tower, and each of them are here to settle a grudge with Nikita. Okay, so it goes from finding this sort of collapsed, I'm distraught, my relationship is on the rocks or over person to now we're getting attacked because there's a grudge. So you see, you went from this kind of role play, social stuff of checks to an attack, which is good. And let's finish up this encounter here. If the party leaves Nikita to the thugs, they will allow the party to leave peacefully. Otherwise, the thugs will attack the party. Nikita is too intoxicated to stand on her own and will not join in combat. If the party survives, Nikita will see the error of her ways and return home to take up her responsibilities again. Okay, cool. So various directions this can go. It's kind of branched. You've got options. I like when encounters give you multiple options because, you know, every party's different, every campaign's different, alignment plays into it, right? So very cool that the author, T.A. Gray here, gave you some options. All right, let's look at the second of three that we're going to preview here. So Vision of the Oracle. A figure in deep purple robes quickly approaches the party. Although their face is obscured, a successful DC-10 Wisdom perception check reveals the person under the cloak is an older female satyr acolyte. The satyr identifies herself as Clefthoof, a traveling oracle. She recognizes one of the party members as an important figure in one of her visions. Roll 1d4 to determine what the vision involved. So this is a really cool little setup because you can even foreshadow. I mean, we're going to look at the visions recommended here, but you can foreshadow something else if you have something else planned in your campaign. You know, so you could tweak this, have this character, you know, foreshadow something coming up, or you could even just mess with the players by having, you know, something kind of ominous come up that maybe doesn't come up till later, or maybe it does, because over time you get inspired and you take sort of this ominous warning and you find a way to work it in and make it true, which is always fun. I mean, players love that stuff. I mean, when you look at a lot of the media today with the serialized storytelling, you know, one of the reasons people love binge watching and serialized storytelling when it comes to like television shows is because it's an investment of time that pays off, right? You know, something that happened in episode 2 comes up in episode 14, right? And you feel like, I'm so glad I was diligent and watched all these episodes because, you know, that thing I noticed in episode 2 is now in episode 14 and it's paying off returns here, you know, for my dedication. So similar thing can happen with D&D, even listening to streaming campaigns. You know, you'll get that kind of payoff of things that are, you know, sort of seeded by the DM that eventually turn up later, and that's always great fun. So now let's look at some of these visions. So Clefthoof saw the character climbing a sheer cliff in Nyx, the whip of Erebos dangling from their belt. So a vision of one of the party members climbing a cliff with a powerful magic item, so that's exciting. Clefthoof saw the character sacrifice a harpy at the foot of the volcano, causing an imminent eruption to stop. So you could have a whole side quest with, you know, volcano needing to be stopped and a sacrifice, and, you know, the dilemma of do we sacrifice this or not. You know, Clefthoof saw the character bound in chains deep beneath the ocean, calmly breathing underwater. So you could have some water breathing. You can have all kinds of underwater stuff. I mean, there's the Tritons in Theros that you can you know, explore that angle. So a lot of fun there. Clefthoof saw the character charging into battle against a Doomwake giant atop a unicorn. All right, giants and a unicorn, right? Those are fun. You know, you can't go wrong with that. So, and this is just 4, right? And you could even have, if you're going to do a long campaign in Theros, you could see Clefthoof again. Maybe, you know, Clefthoof becomes like a recurring character or a regular NPC that your party encounters. So, very cool. But again, no combat here necessarily unless we want to make one of these visions come true, right? So, I like the versatility of what I'm seeing in this book in terms of the encounters are not all just battles, right? Some encounter books, it's just battle, or no battles. And so I'm enjoying the mixture. Last one we're going to look at, Sick Tree. 2 priests of Karamitra rush by the party, arguing loudly about how best to treat the ancient carotid tree suffering from a mysterious illness. If the party presses the priests for more information, they will explain what a disease they can that a disease they can neither identify nor cure has overtaken a Caryatid. The priests worry it could spread throughout the grove and put the polis's defense at risk. The priests offer the party 200 GP and or a favor from the ruling council if they will help determine the origin of the disease or cure the tree. So you saw earlier we looked at that picture of Setessa with all the trees surrounding it and stuff. So the trees are very important to this settlement. If something goes wrong with these trees, could be havoc. The priests lead the party to the largest Caryatid within the grove. The limbs of the tree droop, and there's a darkened substance on the bark at the base of the tree. Healing the tree. There are multiple options for healing the tree. A successful DC 14 intelligence nature check gives the character enough information to develop a treatment plan for the Caryatid. This plan includes thoroughly watering the tree and carefully removing the darkened portions of the bark. Casting minor restoration on the Caryatid will also remove the disease. Destroying the spiteful Lampad, and it references the mythic odysseys of Theros here, that cause the infection will also remove the disease. A successful DC 10 intelligence investigation check by a character will reveal a set of footprints leading away from the sick Caryatid. Each footfall left the grass beneath blackened and withered. Following the footprints leads the party to the Lampad hiding nearby. Very cool. So you guys, if you've read my book, Librum of Lineages, you know I like kind of the sick plant thing. We have a lineage in there that involves that. So this is cool with the Lampad. And the footprints, I mean, what a cool visual. The more visuals you can add for your parties as a DM, the better. And I think that's a really unique visual. You've got these little footprints that are darkened, and then just even the darkened droopingness of the tree. I could really picture that as I was reading it. So I think this could be a real fun adventure. And again, no combat in this particular one. There's combat in some of the other ones. So it could, I guess there could be, if you go to fight the Lampad later, there could be combat there. So lots of options with these encounters that we've looked at. And like I said, there's 30 in this book. There's one with an archery contest. There's one with a ghost. There's this cool thing with exotic fruit. There's a drunken Triton. There's a pit of snakes. I mean, it's all in here, folks. And if you want something, different, you want to get into Theros, I really think you should check out T.A. Gray's work, because you can get the Mythic Odysseys of Theros and the official Wizard supplements, but I find that T.A. Gray's work really enhances that. No grammatical errors that I could see, so the read is professional looking, nice, good maps. So check it out. And now we've reached the end of the video, but you want to hear about that discount. So T.A. Gray was so kind to think of you guys watching the channel and decided to offer a 25% discount. So if you look at the description, the video description, there is a link and it says Theros Encounters and Setessa discount, and there is the link. Thank you, T.A. Gray, for providing that. So the book is normally $3.95, but with that discount you get 25% off, so you can enjoy this book for less than the normal price. And that's so great. Thank you, T.A. Gray, for supporting us, supporting the channel. Please consider the links in the description to support the channel. We get a little bit on royalties, for referring people if you click those. Also, consider buying our book. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. All those things help us hopefully eventually get monetized and get better in the search results, because at this point all these videos we're doing are for free for your enjoyment, because we're not monetized yet. So please help support us, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, happy adventuring.